Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda, and please welcome to our Operation Freedom platform, WeThePeopleProcessing.com. You know, are you tired of being threatened to be canceled just because you have a company focused on liberty and freedom? Well, worry no more, folks. WeThePeopleProcessing.com is your go-to merchant services, freedom-based company to provide business service payment solutions. We the People Processing provides their clients a cancel culture-free platform which is domestically based. They provide competitive rates, no contracts with next-day funding, a fully vetted and like-minded financial infrastructure, and full support for integrations, implementation, and e-commerce efforts. Bottom line, WeThePeopleProcessing.com focuses on defending your company's free market growth, values, and future. Check them out at www.WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Once you're on the site, enter in password Operation Freedom or call 855-499-2024. That's WeThePeopleProcessing.com. Then, when on the website, enter Operation Freedom as your password or call 855-499-2024. Is what's happening in our southern border and allowing an invasion to occur, not just at the southern border, but, well, the northern border. And now look what they're doing with these airlifts, bringing unvetted, untested, medically untested individuals into our country en masse. A person who's been at the forefront of documenting and trying to take the necessary steps to stem the tide of the invasion, putting his own his own health on the line in doing so, and his own well-being on the line, is my next guest and friend, Victor Avila. He's a retired supervisory special agent with the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, Home Security Investigations under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. For those of you not aware, ICE enforces federal laws governing border control, customs, trade, and immigration to promote homeland security and public safety. Victor has been recognized by ICE and HSI for his exemplary service and professional accomplishments while serving as special agent at the El Paso field office. In addition, Victor served as an accredited diplomat and liaison, conducting international complex criminal investigations in a wide range of violations such as narcotics trafficking, arms trafficking, human trafficking and smuggling, financial violations, commercial fraud, and counterterrorism. While on official assignment in Mexico, Special Agent Avila suffered multiple gunshot wounds. This is why when Obama and Biden were in office, by the way. Special Agent Avila suffered multiple gunshot wounds and survived a violent ambush by the Mexican Los Zetas drug cartel, where Special Agent Jaime Zapata tragically lost his life. Might I add, folks, they were set up through the Obama-Biden administration. And might I also add, you think about Biden leaving behind thousands of Americans behind enemy lines. Look, this is a track record of this guy. Biden, go back 10 years to Victor and his partner, Jaime Zapata. They were left behind Mexican cartel enemy lines by Obama and Biden. So this is not some one-off where he's leaving 25,000 Americans left behind. They left Victor. They left Special Agent Zapata behind enemy lines, just as they left behind enemy lines in Benghazi, right? And those 4 Americans that were murdered, yeah, they left them behind. Not just those 4, there were dozens left there. And if it weren't for Ty Woods and Glenn Doherty, there would have been dozens killed. So don't buy into this bought-off lamestream fake media that, oh, this has never happened before. Oh, it happens all the time with this Biden cretin. Bottom line, folks, in addition to being an incredible hero, Victor is an incredible author. You need to get his book, Agent Under Fire. It's my honor to welcome back my friend, Victor Avila. Victor, welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform.
It's always great to be with you, Dave. Thank you so much.
Victor, in my introduction, I mentioned how you and your partner were left behind. You were left behind, and you were gunned down by Mexican cartel members who who were using weapons that were involved in the weapons running operation by Obama and Biden and Eric Holder. Am I off on that?
Boy, you're eerie. It was eerie as I heard you say that, because it's absolutely true. They're used to abandoning Americans, and absolutely we were abandoned. Not just myself, my family, the Obama Biden administration. Yes, with weapons from Operation Fast and Furious. Absolutely, that debacle that happened under that administration. So there's a current theme here of debacleness and incompetence when it comes to these people. And now look at the results that we have on our southern border in Afghanistan that, by the way, are very much tied together here, Dave. There's a lot of linkage here with the national security issues. And I've been talking about this for many, many years, and it's always been a national security and public safety issue for me, because I interviewed these people in Mexico. And I'm talking about these special interest aliens that come from these special interest countries that have ties to terrorism that have been in Mexico for years. And that hasn't changed. What's changed now is that the policy of this open borders has only welcomed even more people. And now, for some reason, people think that the Taliban, the Biden administration, treats the Taliban somehow that they're our ally or a friend. They're nuts. They're not our friend. They're a terrorist organization. And all they've done is now awaken the sleeping cells that we have in our country, in Mexico as well, these sleeper cells of other terrorist organizations, yes, Al-Qaeda, yes, ISIS, that has only emboldened them to now enter our country undetected, unvetted, and making our national security one of the biggest threats ever.
Well, Victor, give us an update on the border. You're constantly going to the border. You have a tremendous number of contacts at the border. We're told by the bought off lamestream fake, the border, this is just fear porn. It's really not that terrible. Let's just, Victor, educate us. You have had a bird's eye view for many, many years, and in particular, after you retired, you keep going to that border. What is your latest recon of the area?
Absolutely, there's a lot to share. The latest right now is we have tens of thousands of mostly Haitians coming over in caravans, fighting the Mexican National Guard. The Mexican National Guard is trying to keep them from coming to the border. They're now down in the state of Chiapas, in the Tapachula area, which is closer to the Mexican Guatemala border. And they're coming. Tens of thousands of them, Dave, are coming. We've got mostly Haitians, Cubans, Venezuelans, Central Americans, you name it. They're all in there, but mostly it's Haitians in there. And we don't know who they are. They're not vetted, and they're making their way in a huge crowd. Not at once, and that's what's happening. As we speak, they're walking this way up north to our Texas border. The other thing that's happening is we have these camps on the other side of the border. One of the biggest ones being in Tijuana, on the other side of San Diego, and some in Ciudad Juarez, the other side of El Paso, Texas, with thousands of these individuals trying to gain access to our country. Now, there was a big ruling last week, the Remain in Mexico policy. As you know, the Trump administration had a great success with this policy. The Biden administration overturned it. And now there was a federal district judge that said, no, you have to re-implement this, and you have to reinstate the Remain in Mexico policy. It went up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court did not issue a stay, meaning that it has to go in effect. But this is the craziest part. The Department of Homeland Security is going to challenge it. And I'm thinking, well, what side are you on? Who are you representing? You're supposed to be representing the U.S. citizen of this country, not the illegal alien that's coming from 143 different countries. And so the Department of Homeland Security didn't like the ruling, which is a great ruling, which is something that would help us keep these individuals back in Mexico or in their home country, because it's proven that once they were back there and this Remain in Mexico policy was in effect, people slowly started trickling back to their country. They realized, I'm not going to get in, and they started going back. This is what we have to do, but the Biden administration continues to ignore all of it. They're ignoring Supreme Court rulings. They're ignoring immigration law. They're ignoring asylum laws. They're ignoring Title 42. You name it. They're doing whatever they want. They're not even paying attention to what justices argue and what arguments they give and orders. They're just doing whatever they want down there.
Victor, educate our listeners on your book and where they can get it, because it's a phenomenal book, Agent Under Fire.
Yes, please go to agentunderfirebook.com. Besides sharing the story of what you mentioned, the tragic story of losing Agent Zapata in the line of fire, the second half of my book, the manifesto, is all about border security. I talk about the wall. I talk about sanctuary cities. I talk about asylum. Everything that's happening right now, it's in that book. And not only do I just talk about it, but I offer solutions, which I could put them down in one day. And I wish the Biden administration, or even at this point, the state of Texas, should move up and do something about it.
You know, Victor, you when you were on this show a number of months ago, I mean, you're a regular, but I want to take back a couple, 3 interviews. You started speaking about the experiences that you had witnessed and documented of these illegals being transported by our own government to facilities, coming out with this packet with money and plane tickets, and then them being escorted by our own government to commercial airliners with commercial passengers on board, but they were unvetted, they were untested, and they were sent into the interior of the country. Now, Victor, when you came out with that many months ago on this platform, we were told, oh, Vic, he got it wrong. Victor, this is conspiracy. He got it wrong. Victor, it took about 4 to 5 months for the bought-off lamestream fake media just mention it in passing. But they did. They confirmed everything you said on this platform many months ago, and how many millions of Americans were put in harm's way because people discounted your right on the target, right on the money analysis.
Dave, what's a shame is that it continues to happen. Even though we first mentioned it with you months ago, it's just like if it's just yesterday or today. I was in El Paso, Texas a week ago and witnessed it again at the El Paso International Airport, illegal aliens boarding our commercial airplanes without any ID. As a matter of fact, I took some pictures of a family unit. They were fully brand new clothing, all wearing brand new matching backpacks, brand new shoes, and they went up to a Starbucks counter and asked for free food, and the Starbucks employees were taken aback and said, listen, we don't do that here. We don't just give out free food. They're just thinking, well, we're here in the U.S., you need to take care of us. That's the mentality that they're coming with. And like I mentioned before, 143 different countries, and it continues to happen. We're still putting them on airplanes. We're still putting them on buses. The NGOs are still giving them the money. It's nonstop down at the border. The dangerous part is that there's a lot of smuggling. There's a lot of individuals that don't want to go through that process of even turning themselves in and are getting smuggled. And now we're getting vehicle rollovers. It's a mess down there. Stash houses, up 384 stash houses down in the valley. It is overwhelming. I heard a Border Patrol agent last week say that he thought that we had surrendered the border. And it hurt me when I heard those words come from one of our border agents, because that's how they feel. They feel that we have absolutely no border security. It is wide open down there. And now with the threat of terrorism up and alive again, this is something that we cannot ignore, and people need to wake up. The last thing we need, and I want to see, is a terrorist come through that southern border and access our country through Mexico.
So, Victor, I want to play a brief clip for you. It's 10 seconds in length. It was Rahm Emanuel, who was then chief of staff to Obama, who then, Rahm Emanuel then became the horrendous mayor of my former hometown, Chicago, helped drive it in the ground, which has been further driven in the ground by this Lori Lightfoot character. But the deep state, the globalist syndicate, the New World Order crowd, the criminal international banking syndicate, whatever you want to call them, they use crisis and chaos, and out of that they get more power, more control, and more money. And he said it succinctly, actually, in a fit of truth that probably was the only fit of truth he ever had in his entire life, and we documented in 10 seconds. But this is exactly what's occurring at the southern border. Chaos and crisis. Derek, hit the clip, and then let's get Victor's take on it.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
Victor, there's the model.
Yeah, I mean it's scary. Look at what they're taking advantage of right now with all the attention in Afghanistan and what kind of legislation they're going to pass in D.C. with the spending bills. It is they take advantage of every single crisis, but these are crises that are self-made. They are easily and could be stopped. The border can be secured within a day, within a day if they wanted to. But the fact is that the Biden administration does not want to do anything about it. They do not want to secure Afghanistan because we're the number one country in the world when it comes to a military, and they could take care of it right now. It's the fact that they don't want to do it. And you have people like Alejandro Mayorkas, the DHS secretary, that goes along with this and pushing this effort. We have judges. There was one judge last week in Nevada that ruled that charging an illegal alien with 1326, which is illegal reentry, there's an alien that's been deported and comes back and gets caught again, that it's racist to charge him with that. It is, and so that's a current standing not to be able to charge an illegal alien with that statute, that immigration statute of illegal reentry. These are the type of rulings that we're getting around the country. This is the fight that I continue to put forward because I don't want to lose our state of Texas. I don't want to lose our country.
Well, and then let's add to this, as you mentioned, this airlift from Afghanistan, right? It's our understanding through some sources I have in the diplomatic corps that 88,000 of the 100,000 that have individuals that have been airlifted, if you will, out of Afghanistan, 88,000 of them were unvetted, untested from a health standpoint, Afghanis, 7,000 Afghanis who held special immigrant visas, so-called SIVs, who reportedly had helped us over the past 20 years. And there were only 5,000 Americans as of this weekend that had been airlifted out by our government. I mentioned in our last half hour that we have reports, in fact, Bernard Carrick from the former New York City police chief, and this confirmed what I had heard through my sources. Multiple reports of Biden's State Department actively blocking the private extractions of Americans by private operators. U.S. State Department is also asking other countries in the region not to accept any private aircraft carrying U.S. citizens. Victor, what would be why? I think we know why they're doing this, but why do you believe they're doing this?
I think they've been wanting to, and I'm going back to the Obama years. They've been wanting to fundamentally change our country, and I'm talking about religion. I'm talking about a lot of things, and fundamentally change our culture and our Christian values. I think that's what it comes down to. I mean, we've got 10,000 Afghan refugees arriving in Fort Bliss, Texas, which is in El Paso, Texas, a military base there. They built these huge camps out there to receive them, but they're going to immediately get visas. They're immediately going to get some kind of status to remain in this country. And we can't control the crime in Chicago, and we can't control the crime in Dallas, and we can't take care of our own issues that we have in our own country, yet we seem to the Biden administration seems to just want to stumble and immediately want to go and anytime it deals with anyone other than American, that comes first, other than America First policy. If it's someone else, great, let's go help them. But when it comes to let's help the Americans, let's help our borders, let's help our security, let's help our schools and CRT and everything else. No. That comes second to this administration, and it's a dangerous path that we're in. Not even headed, we're in, and I think people need to wake up. And I'm glad that I see a lot of movement around the country, in local towns, at school boards, at city councils, where people stand up. And people ask me all the time, "What do we do?" That's what I ask people to do: go to your school board meetings, go to your city council meetings, your county commissioner meetings. That's where the great impact is happening in your neighborhood. Then you go up to state and, of course, the federal, but it starts at your local level. You can make a difference, and we have to continue to fight.
Well, and Victor, this is excellent you bring this up because week before last we had Yvette Franco-Clark on from Alma, Michigan, and she is leading a group that's delving into, wait a minute, you're bringing, hold on, unvetted, untested people into our community that are supposedly children when in fact they're not children. And she's raised, holy heck, and so far had been very successful in outing what's going on and who's behind this. It was the Catholic Charities behind it, if you will, and to say, wait a minute, this puts our community at risk. And you're right. It's people at the local level. If they're going to wait for Biden or Harris or Department of Homeland Security or the Republican Party to step up and do something about this, it ain't going to happen. If you want to block it, you have to block it at your own local level. And Victor, you are a living inspiration for people to do that.
Well, that's what I preach, and let me tell you, you talk about the unvetted, and I'll continue that with this. I heard a report that everyone that was coming from Afghanistan is going through iris scans, and it was a news report that said everyone is being vetted, and that's completely not true. We had 212,000 people come into the country through our southern border. Those are the ones that we detected, and not even those that were detected are 100% vetted. Forget the ones that were smuggled, that we don't even know the number, the tens of thousands of them that continue to come in that have criminal histories and are bad people, the cartels, the gang members, the repeat offenders that have been priorly deported prior from this country, and they haven't been vetted. And so for the United States to claim that everyone from Afghanistan is 100% vetted, it's not the case. And unfortunately, these terrorists will slip through the cracks, and they will gain access, and maybe in these caravans, maybe through our southern border, maybe through our northern border. But the fact is that we're at high alert. We're coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. This is the time where people must be at alert and try to fight back, because we need to protect ourselves in our country.
Victor, I want you to address this issue. I was speaking to a high-level former U.S. diplomat, very, very high level, and this person told me that they thought the ramifications of this airlift of unvetted, untested individuals from Afghanistan is going to ultimately lead, which actually they think could well have been the bottom line of what the globalists were pushing for, of which Biden and Harris are their puppets, for the autonomous zones, much like we saw with CHOP, only this time they're going to be Sharia autonomous zones set up around our country based through these unvetted, untested relocations from Afghanistan. Your take on that possibility?
I agree 100% with that, and I'll add that these individuals will possibly join the Black Lives Matter movement, the Antifa groups that are out there, and the next time you see riots, the next time you see these autonomous zones pop up, it'll be these individuals that are part of these organizations. On top of the illegal aliens, that these single males, adult males that had continued to come in, now we're allowing them in. It was before that we would not let the adult males, only the family units. But these single adult males, the military-age males, we're allowing them to come in, and they will end up in these organizations. They're going to be in your neighborhood. And so, again, I stress, what is your local chief of police, your mayor, how are they going to react? What kind of decisions are they going to make? What kind of administrative changes are they going to make to the schooling, to the school board? All these affects our criminal justice system, our healthcare system, the school. These people are going to be in our communities, and it's going to be and so I agree 100%. We are going to be impacted, and it's going to be right around the corner.